Hey guys, this is Jorge again with Llama Lightroom Kits, and I'm gonna run you through a quick wedding portrait edit. Alright, so this is a photo that I shot at a recent wedding. This was over in Pontiac, Michigan. As you can see, it was a pretty dimly lit venue. And I shot this with my Sony a7 III with this 24 to 70 millimeter Sigma 2.8 lens. Shot wide open at 2.8, ISO 200. 1/125th of a second, and you can see this is the raw file right here, ARW file. So let's run through this edit. This is a full edit from raw to finished. So right here, the first thing I'm going to do is step one, I'm going to choose my base layer. I did use a flash on this image, so I'm going to choose created light. I'm going to lock that in right there. We also have options for natural light and black and white. So this one was created light, so this one's optimized for what I used it for. So next I'm going to go to color temperature. I've got these preset color temperatures built in, and they're really great for if you're doing a lot of bulk edits. But for me, I like to go down here and use this precision color temperature scale. So what I like to do is I just like to go and mouse over each one and see what it looks like and see which one I like best. Okay, I'm starting to get a little bit warm here. So I think I'm going to lock it in, maybe cool it off right there. All right, next is your tint adjustments. So your white balance is blues and oranges, and your tints is magentas and greens. So I'm gonna do the same thing here. Just go right through, mouse over each one, see what it looks like, see which one I like best. And in this case, I think I'm gonna keep it at base. I'm gonna keep it locked in right there. Same thing for exposure adjustment. This is step 4, and I'm just gonna mouse over each one and see which one looks best to me. Okay, that one obviously a little too bright, so I'm going to lock it in right here. I like it brightened up quite a bit. I think that looks nice. All right, next one is the highlights. So let's see here. I'm going to mouse over each one, see which one I like. This one, I'm kind of torn in between these two options. I think I'm going to run with this one. So this is just your basic 0 level highlight setting. All right, shadows, let's run through the shadows. All right, here we're getting a little bit too dark. I like the shadows brightened up a bit, so I think I'm gonna lock it in right there. All right, next one is the sharpness. I always like to give it a sharpness 1 on portraits with people in the frame. Sharpness 2 and sharpness 3, they get a little crazy really for architectural photos, landscape photos, things like that. So a good base default is sharpness 1 for all photos with people in them. Next one is noise reduction. Same kind of concept with noise reduction as sharpness. If people are in the image and there's not a lot of noise and the ISO is pretty much under 1000 or under 1600, you can just kick it at noise reduction 1. Noise reduction 2 and 3, things start to get a little weird. They're for if you're shooting indoors with no flash and your ISO's like at 4,000, 5,000 on a crop sensor or something like that. So we're just locking in at noise reduction 1. Next, we'll go through the editing toolbox, and again, you can stack these. So these are all selective. 1 through 8 are selective settings, and then number 9 and number 10 are additive settings. You can select as many of these as you want. So by default, I always remove purple fringing. Let's see what optimized lens does. Usually 50-50 on this optimized lens. What it does is it just corrects for barrel distortion and it corrects for vignetting. In this image, I do really like it. Some images, it can really brighten the edges a little bit too much in my opinion. So that's kind of what you got to look out for. Here, vignette, let's see. I do like the vignette on this image. It really accentuates the subject. Let's see, enhanced color. Really 9 times out of 10, I'm going to throw enhanced color on there. It just makes the colors just a little bit more saturated and punchy without overdoing it. I really, really, really love this setting. Film grain, I usually skip over film grain for color images, and I stick with film grain for black and white only. And now to the fun part, the AI tools. So we got 2 sky enhancers, a subject enhancer, a background, and a headshot enhancer. So the only one that really would make sense in this image would be the subject enhancer. So check this out. This is with it on. This is with it off. So it masks out the subject and it masks out the background and applies settings on both. So check that out. This one, it actually does a really, really nice job. This one is another one of those settings that I'm kind of 50-50 with. It really depends on the particular image. This one, I think it's a no-brainer. I'm gonna lock that in right there. All right, so let's check this out. Let's check. This is the after. This is the before. And that's the after. Check that out. 1 through 10. Easy peasy. Instead of going through here and kind of screwing around with the over 100 different sliders and settings that Lightroom has, you can just throw it right here. 1 through 10. And that, you saw it right here, right from raw to delivered. This is a file that I'm actually going to upload and deliver to a couple today. So this is it. See you later, guys.